I want to thank Brother Kurt Jurgens for watching my vision videos and looking into the possibility of them giving clues to the timing of the rapture and everything. Like I say, I don't set dates, but I am looking very, very closely for the return of my Lord. I could use your prayers. I'm still really struggling with this headache and nausea. It's just a panic attack. But I'm doing okay in the spirit. Okay, I just want to do a recap of everything that pertains to the sudden going on of my light in the bedroom on the 19th of October this year, 2019. I will just recap everything that pertains to it. I was lying here because I am essentially bedbound and watching a video, and at 11:16, according to my clock on the wall, a light just mysteriously went on in the bedroom. My husband is at work. My cat can't reach the light. So there's no way any human could have turned it on. So it was very mysterious. And at the time, I noted the time was 11:16, but I Googled the correct time because it could be a minute or two out. And yeah, it was. The correct time was 11:15. Now, I'm living in Wisconsin. I'm from Australia. I've been here almost 3 years. And when the light went on, I've got one of those slider, dimmer kind of light switches at the door, and it can't just go on of its own accord. And it went. I'm a bit OCD, so I make sure I press the light right, the light switch right down so that it's off and clicked into the off position. Anyway, after this light went on, I got up and I looked at the light switch and it was a quarter of the way up. So 1/4, I don't know if that means anything, a quarter of the way up. And I later looked up the Strong's Concordance numbers in the Greek, and I can't remember the exact order, but it's one of the each of these numbers is one of the two. I'm pretty sure that 11:15, 1115 in the Greek, the meaning is Golgotha, a place of the skull, and that could be equated to death. And it also obviously pertains to Jesus' death before his resurrection. And 1116, 11:16, the meaning is Gomorrah, which pertains to death and destruction. So the Golgotha one could mean atonement. But anyway, that's what the meanings were. The first one was Golgotha and the second one was Gomorrah, both starting with G. Anyway, so I told my friend who's also Rapture watching about this, and she suggested that the time on the clock. Now, if you look at the clock, the big hand was on the 11. No, I always get that wrong. The little hand was on the 11 and the big hand was on the 3. Now, the time discrepancy could mean, and I'm just jumping ahead here. No, I won't. I will just go in order of things that happened. Yeah, the little hand was on the 11 and the big hand was on the 3. And then my friend alerted me to the prophecies, or not prophecies, but the predictions of the Illuminati planned attacks on Seattle on the 3rd of November. So I was mindful of that. I wasn't saying, yeah, that's absolutely going to happen, but I was thinking it just might. And maybe because I did not have any idea why this light just went on suddenly. And normally, if it was a demonic thing, I think I would feel frightened. But I had no fear. It was like, oh, it was almost natural, you know? So I was drawn to not so much the time, 11:15 or 11:16, but the actual numbers, which were 11 and 3. So I thought it could be November the 3rd. So I was watching vigilantly and praying against it, but at the same time praying for God's will, because I want to get out of here. But still, the thought of loss of life and people going to hell is just too much to bear. So once again, I have to stress the importance of us praying without ceasing for the lost and for our lost loved ones, and praying in belief that they will be saved, that God has sent his angels, because he told me that a couple of months ago in my sleep. He said, God is sending his angels. And I didn't think they were warring angels at that time. They were more ministering and protective angels. So we just got to pray for the protection and salvation of our loved ones and all the lost who can come into the ark before we go. Anyway, so a number of days later, I've forgotten the date now, but you will see it on my channel. My name is Kim Durant Michaels. Just simply that, and you'll see a picture of me and my husband. I'm wearing a hot pink dress because I wanted to wear some really positive colour. And you'll see the yellow sun icon that I drew, and I took a piece out of it, like a wedge or a pie piece out of it. Now, on that particular occasion, I had a vision, a waking vision, but with my eyes closed. And I saw a yellow sun. And you can go back and listen to it in detail because I can't remember all the details of it, but I saw a yellow sun, and then I saw a black wedge-shaped piece taken out of the sun. I thought, that's interesting. So it was almost like the sun was darkened, or part of the sun was darkened. And then I took particular note of where the wedge was taken from. And the top part of the wedge, if you looked at the sun as a clock face, which is a very interesting concept, that God sort of killed two birds with one stone in this vision. It's about the sun and the darkening of the sun, I think. I'm not sure about that. Or partial darkening of the sun. But it's also about time, a time. And the top part of the wedge, where it was taken out, if you imagined a hand being at that point, at that line, it would be where the 11 would be if it was a big hand. 11 minutes past something, if you know what I mean. I'm not explaining this terribly well. My head is really pounding. And then the bottom part of the wedge was taken out, where a smaller hand would be, or another hand, on the 3. So it looks like 11 minutes past 3. Or if you reverse the hands, it could be 2:15. But 11:03 is really what got my attention, because this is the second time 11:03 has got my attention. Those two numbers. Firstly, when the light went on at 11:15, that's 11:03 is the numbers. And here, the wedge piece that was taken out, if you imagined hands being at the extremities of that wedge piece taken out, it would be 11:03 again. But a different kind of 11:03. It's not the number 11, it's 11 minutes past, which is just 1 minute past the 2, the number 2. Okay? I hope I haven't confused you there. Anyway, so I'm thinking along the lines of 11:03. Now, in Australia, we say for, let's say if we're going to say talk about the 3rd of November, we say 3/11/19. But over here, you put the month first. It's 11/3/19.